In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL community, the Dallas Cowboys have parted ways with head coach Mike McCarthy following a dismal 7-10 season. This disappointing campaign culminated in a crushing defeat to the Philadelphia Eagles, marking the end of a year full of struggles for a team that had high hopes coming into the 2024 season. The decision to fire McCarthy comes amid mounting dissatisfaction from both the fan base and team owner Jerry Jones, who have expressed frustration over the team's underperformance and lack of discipline throughout the season. Jones, known for his generally patient approach to coaching changes, has grown increasingly disillusioned with the team's inability to meet expectations, ultimately leading to this significant decision. The 2024 season was anticipated to be a promising one for the Cowboys, especially after they had posted 3 consecutive 12-5 records in the previous years. However, the team was plagued by inconsistencies and various challenges, including a season-ending hamstring injury to quarterback Dak Prescott that left a void on offense. In addition, the defense, which had been a strong point in previous years, failed to live up to expectations under new coordinator Mike Zimmer. Despite the talent on the roster, the Cowboys struggled to maintain consistency, and the team's elimination from playoff contention for the first time since 2020 only exacerbated tensions within the organization and among its passionate supporters. The failure to make the playoffs this season highlighted the need for change, and owner Jerry Jones, who had refrained from making mid-season coaching changes in the past, found himself facing mounting pressure to reassess the team's leadership. Jones addressed the decision in a statement released earlier today, acknowledging the difficult nature of the move but also emphasizing his belief in the team's potential. He remarked, "I believe this team is very close and capable of achieving our ultimate goals, but we need a new direction to get us there." This decision comes after significant dissatisfaction from fans, many of whom have criticized McCarthy's tenure, particularly regarding the team's lack of discipline and failure to perform in crucial moments. The Cowboys were among the most penalized teams in the league, a statistic that did not go unnoticed by former players and analysts alike. Hall of Famer Michael Irvin notably commented on the situation, stating that the Cowboys need a coach who can instill stricter discipline and accountability to turn things around. As the search for McCarthy's replacement begins, several high-profile names are being considered as potential candidates. One such name is Deion Sanders, a former Cowboy star who has found success in the collegiate coaching ranks with the Colorado Buffaloes. Sanders' potential return to Dallas has sparked enthusiasm among certain segments of the Cowboys fan base, who believe his leadership and charisma could breathe new life into the franchise. Another candidate generating significant buzz is Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. Johnson has been widely praised for his innovative offensive schemes, and many analysts believe his fresh perspective could bring new energy and effectiveness to the Cowboys' play calling. ESPN's Bill Barnwell has suggested that Johnson's success in Detroit could translate well to Dallas, where the Cowboys are in need of an offensive overhaul. The decision to part ways with McCarthy also raises questions about the future of the current coaching staff, including defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer. Zimmer, who returned to the Cowboys after an 18-year hiatus, was expected to bolster the defense, but he was unable to deliver the anticipated results. The defense, which had been a dominant force just a year earlier, struggled with missed tackles, blown coverages, and an inability to generate consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks. The Cowboys' failure to close out games, especially in one-score situations, exposed the lack of a cohesive and aggressive defensive strategy. Zimmer's future with the team remains uncertain, as the organization undergoes this transitional period and seeks a new head coach who can bring stability and direction to the team moving forward. As the Cowboys embark on the search for a new head coach, the pressure is on to find a leader who can harness the team's considerable talent and steer them back into championship contention. The upcoming offseason will be crucial, not only in terms of coaching decisions, but also in addressing roster needs and navigating salary cap constraints. With an aging roster and several key players set to become free agents, the Cowboys will need to be strategic in their approach to roster construction. Vice President Stephen Jones has already indicated that the team expects a tight budget for the upcoming offseason, which could impact the team's ability to make moves in free agency and negotiate contracts with existing players. The departure of McCarthy marks the end of a chapter that began with high hopes, but ultimately fell short of expectations. Hired in 2020, McCarthy led the Cowboys to 2 playoff appearances, but was unable to advance past the divisional round. His tenure was marred by inconsistent performances, costly turnovers, and critical losses in key moments. These shortcomings led to growing discontent among Cowboys fans, who had hoped for more success under McCarthy's leadership. In the wake of McCarthy's departure, the organization faces the challenge of restoring confidence among its fan base and re-establishing a winning culture that has been sorely missing in recent years. The next head coach will inherit a roster with significant talent, but also several deficiencies that need to be addressed. Key players like Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, and Trayvon Diggs have cemented themselves as cornerstones of the franchise, but the Cowboys' inability to surround them with the right supporting pieces and maintain consistency on both sides of the ball has hindered their success. The direction the Cowboys choose to take in the coming months will be crucial in determining their trajectory for the foreseeable future. The next few months will be pivotal not only in terms of coaching decisions, but also in ensuring that the team addresses their roster issues effectively. For now, the Cowboys and their fans are left to reflect on a season that began with promise, but ended in disappointment. The hope is that this change in leadership will usher in a new era of success and stability for one of the NFL's most storied franchises. The fallout from McCarthy's departure will extend beyond just the coaching position, as the Cowboys are now faced with the task of rebuilding the trust and faith of their passionate fan base. Over the course of the 2024 season, fans voiced their displeasure not only with the team's on-field performance, but also with the decisions made by the front office. The overwhelming sentiment among Cowboys Nation was that the team had failed to capitalize on its championship window, a notion that resonates strongly with both analysts and critics. For years, Jerry Jones has been both praised and criticized for his hands-on approach to running the Cowboys. While his unwavering commitment to the franchise is undeniable, many believe that his reluctance to delegate more control to a general manager has stifled the team's progress. Critics argue that the Cowboys' centralized decision-making structure has hindered their ability to adapt to the rapidly evolving dynamics of the NFL. And now, with McCarthy out of the picture, renewed scrutiny is being placed on Jones's leadership and the broader organizational philosophy. This situation is compounded by the challenge of managing the Cowboys' star-studded roster under salary cap constraints. Key players such as Parsons, Lamb, and Diggs have cemented themselves as franchise cornerstones, but retaining and building around them will require careful financial planning and strategic roster moves. The Cowboys will also face difficult decisions regarding aging veterans and underperforming players whose contracts may no longer align with the team's long-term vision. On the offensive side of the ball, the Cowboys' lackluster production in 2024 became a glaring weakness. The team ranked near the bottom of the league in total offense, struggling to maintain drives and convert in critical situations. Despite having standout talents like Lamb and Tony Pollard, the Cowboys' offense was plagued by inefficiency and inconsistency, leading many to call for a complete overhaul of the offensive scheme. Fans and analysts alike have emphasized the importance of hiring a head coach with a proven track record of offensive innovation, someone who can unlock the full potential of the roster and bring a fresh approach to the offense. Defensively, the Cowboys also failed to meet expectations after a promising 2023 season in which the defense emerged as one of the league's best. Under Zimmer's leadership, however, the defense regressed significantly, with issues such as missed tackles, blown coverages, and an inability to generate consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks becoming recurring themes. The team's failure to close out games, particularly in one-score situations, underscored the need for a more cohesive and aggressive defensive strategy. As the Cowboys move forward, these defensive issues will be a primary focus for the new coaching staff. The decision to move on from McCarthy has also reignited discussions about the broader culture within the Cowboys organization. For years, the franchise has been characterized by high expectations and relentless scrutiny, a reality that can be both motivating and burdensome for players and coaches. As the Cowboys seek to turn the page on the McCarthy era, the challenge will be to foster a culture of discipline, consistency, and accountability, one that matches the lofty expectations set by the team's storied history and the aspirations of its fan base.